Welcome to the series of videos on surface productivity tools for AutoCAD Civil 3D. In this video, we'll demonstrate the import-export surface labels command. This command allows for exporting Civil 3D surface labels from one drawing to another drawing. Currently in Civil 3D, the way that this would work if you wanted to do this out of the box, there isn't a method. You can do a Control-Shift copy on these labels. Civil 3D will allow you to do that, and you could paste them into another drawing. But if you do that, the surface that the labels reference follows along as well. And that's something we don't want in Civil 3D because that technically sometimes will end up messing up our drawings and corrupting data. We don't want our surfaces following along with that. We just want the criteria that defines these labels and then to be able to recreate them in another drawing. And so within Surface Productivity Tools, we have a tool for that. This Import-Export Labels does exactly that. And so we'll go ahead and select Export Surface Labels. And you have two options. You have Selection or Reference. Selection, you can select individual labels on screen, whichever ones you want. And then you have for reference is going to allow you to select them by surface that they're associated to. I'm going to use by reference. On the left, it's going to show you if there's any spot elevations in use and what style they're on, slope labels, and then contour labels. And so you could be using multiple styles, and so you do have to select the style of each one that you want to export. Over on the right, you have the ability to select the surface that those labels reference. So I'm going to select my concept grading, and then I actually have external reference in here with the surface in it, and that is showing as the drawing and the surface. And so I'm going to also select that one. And then I click apply, and I'm going to go ahead and overwrite this file in here that I've done from a previous session. And I have 69 labels that came out. Now, if I take a look at that XML file just to show how this works, we're storing the surface or the label style that's in there, the marker style, the location of the arrowhead for the surface elevation point, right? The drag state location coordinates, so that will come along as well. And then if we shrink this category and look at slope labels, you'll see we've got the style and the type. And if it is a 2-point label or not, you would have two locations, right, for the 2-point. And then if I look at contour labels, we're storing whether or not the line is visible, the styles for major, minor, and user, and then also any points along the contour label polyline that defines where those labels are occurring. And so all of that is stored in this XML, which is essentially the instructions to recreate these labels in another file. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go over to my final grading file, and I just have the surface data referenced in here. And so I want to import these same labels. So I'm going to click Import Surface Labels. It prompts me for the XML file, and I pick my export labels, and I hit OK. And then it's going to show me what's in that file. And so it says I've got spot elevation labels. Do I want to import them or not? You can check that box. You can collapse this. I've got slope labels in here. Do you want to import those or not? And then you've got contour labels in here as well, and if those get imported or not. And then it gives you some other data down here to show you what is all being imported. And then you select which surface you want to apply it to. And so in this case, I'm going to select my concept grading surface, and I would click apply at this point, and those labels will come in. And now, so there are some errors that get caught. And so what it's saying here is in this drawing, the user contour style standard doesn't exist in the drawing. We've swapped it with this instead. And so that will happen if you don't have the same styles in your drawing. And so we'll go ahead and click close. You may also see ones that say this this label does not fall on the surface or things like that that will prevent it from coming in. And so there may be other errors that show up in there because it does do checks like that. And so now it's basically recreated all the same surface labels that we had in the previous drawing. If we take a look, everything should look the same as that one as far as how it came in, and it's all built off the same instructions.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and be sure to check out our other apps on the Autodesk Exchange Store.